Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I will not talk about good politics, but I will talk about good policies of Fiji. And let me also say this to Honorable Voka and also to the learned leader of the opposition, because last week he also made a statement about this ministerial statement, what we are doing. Simply, we are telling the nation what this government is doing. It is our responsibility as respective ministers to make sure that all Fijian knows what's happening, unlike what used to happen before. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I rise to speak about the achievements of affordable housing provided by government through my ministry under the Department of Housing, through the Public Rental Board and Housing Authority. Affordable housing aims to provide low-cost, safe housing for lower-income earners. Honorable Deputy Speaker, with the establishment of PRB, the aim was to bring in fiscally sound practice in managing the sector of government housing assistance. In Fiji, affordable housing includes social rented, affordable rented, and immediate housing that are provided to specified eligible households whose needs are not met by the market. Honorable Deputy Speaker, government provides for these needs through entities like the Housing Authority and Public Rental Board, as well as through initiatives like the First Home Owners Grant. In Fiji, social rental housing, or what we call low-cost housing, had traditionally been subsidized through a government-owned and funded agency. Honorable Deputy Speaker, this function is currently and solely entrusted to PRB. Honorable Deputy Speaker, housing in particular, affordable housing for lower income earning Fijians, is a priority area and one of the key challenges for the government. The Public Rental Board was established in 1989 under the Housing Amendment Decree number 12 of 1989 to take over and manage the rental section of Housing Authority on an economic basis. PRB was then formed in September 1989. Honorable Deputy Speaker, for the benefit of this august House, let me give some background on the PRB. The Public Rental Board was formed as a result of the World Bank recommendation to the Fiji government for PRB to take over the rental portfolio from the Housing Authority, hence the establishment of Public Rental Board. The Housing Authority was to manage the mortgage financing and land sales, including loans for low-income earners towards affordable housing. Honorable Deputy Speaker, earlier this week, in the reference to the national debt, the Honorable Attorney General referred to inherent debts. The story of PRB is same, a debt that this government had to pay off, like so many other debts and problems that we have inherited from the past governments. And may I add, Honorable Deputy Speaker, that Fiji First government have successfully turned things around so that all Fijians can look forward to better and wider delivery in the social rental market. Honorable Deputy Speaker, while the move for separate rental board was seen as a good one, the operation of the Housing Authority, in particular in rent collection, left the PRB with heavy debts. This included debts of $19 million that required PRB to sell some of its housing stocks in order to service this debt. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I would like to inform this House and also to note the period that we are talking about is from 1989 to 2005. Honorable Deputy Speaker, and this resulted in the reduction of the total number of rental stocks in the 28 rental states throughout Fiji under PRB. In 1989, the Public Rental Board had a total rental stock of 1,741 units, which was transferred from the Housing Authority. To service the 19 million debt of the PRB, a total of 208 units were sold, Honorable Deputy Speaker, by the past government and further 352 units were demolished as they were no longer safe due to the lack of maintenance. This left PRB with a total rental housing stock of 1,181. Honorable Deputy Speaker, all this makes up for interesting reading given the financial status of PRB of that period. It shows how past governments mismanaged these entities or allowed their operations in a manner that makes them almost insolvent. Honorable Deputy Speaker, one of the hidden figures that led to the decrease in the rental stock was lack of maintenance and leading to the demolition of large housing estate. There was a lack of forward planning to ensure that replacement stocks for social rental units were planned for and constructed in the case of demolition such as Rewanga. Honorable Deputy Speaker, PRB is engaging in best practice in new developments, including in line with the National Building Codes. All new developments adhere to meeting and exceeding required construction benchmarks leading to engineer certification. In addition, Honorable Deputy Speaker, PRB has put into place a comprehensive maintenance program to ensure that the units are well maintained and preserve their construction lifetimes. This, Honorable Deputy Speaker, includes meeting standards required for cyclone certification. Honorable Deputy Speaker, as I stated before, PRB selling off the social rental units left us with a total rental stock of 1,181. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I am pleased to announce to this House that that number has now increased and stands at 1,553 rental housing units. Honorable Deputy Speaker, this figure shows in black and white clearly and beyond any doubt the commitment of the Fiji Affairs government to reverse the negative trends of past government and projects positive growth in the affordable housing sector. This number will increase from the current 1,553 to 1,637 by the end of 2017, with the completion of following housing development projects as follows. Colombo Housing Project. Government provided a grant of 1.5 million in the 2014 national budget and a further of 741,000 in the 2015 national budget. Honorable Deputy Speaker, construction started in June 2014 for the 36 one-bedroom units. Honorable Deputy Speaker, when we say one bedroom, that does not mean only one bedroom. One bedroom, there is a provision for living room, kitchen, dining with a separate toilet and shower facilities. These units are in final stages of finishing work of one bedroom and are expected to be launched at the end of June 2017. That's next month. Sabu Sabu Housing Project. Government provided a grant of $500,000 in the 2014 national budget and a further 3.4 million in the 2015 national budget for Sabu Sabu project. Honorable Deputy Speaker, construction commenced in March 2015, which includes of 32 units of one bedroom and 16 units of two bedrooms, totaling 48 units. Honorable Deputy Speaker, construction here, like the Colombo project, will be launched at the end of July 2017. Honorable Deputy Speaker, in the 2016-2017 budget, government allocated 3.6 million for the construction of the 36 by one bedroom rental units at Simla Lotoka. Technical works has been completed and the board is in the final stages of the tender process. Honorable Deputy Speaker, let me turn to the concrete plans by my ministry and the PRB to further meet our affordable housing demands. The Public Rental Board's immediate plans and projects include: 1. Butwa Rental Estate. New construction of the additional 100 housing units. Butwa development will be based on the existing plan to cater for increased demand by the hotel workers in that particular area. 2. Rewanga Rental Estate. Preparation of master plan for the redevelopment of Rewanga project is ready and awaiting final board approval for the redevelopment. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the turnaround since 2014 in rising PRB rental stock is due to the commitment and readiness of this Fiji Affairs government to address affordable housing demands. Given the shortfalls that we inherited from the past government, Honorable Deputy Speaker, especially the huge reduction in housing stocks from 2004 to 2006, I am pleased to let this House know that we have corrected the loss and have more than recovered lost units within a very short period of time. It is also important for government that while it provides annual grants, that we do not lapse into a situation as that was the case that led to selling of rental stocks to meet $19 million in debts. Honorable Deputy Speaker, as reflected in the annual reports of the PRB, shows that the current model under which PRB operates is sustainable. This is important in government assessment of continued assistance to PRB to fulfill their duties in the key area of providing social rental housing. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the current debt ratio is 40% according to the audited PRB report for 2015. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the return on assets has increased from 1.2 to 1.7% according to the same report between 2014 to 2015. This makes PRB a balanced and financially healthy organization and is well placed to deliver on demands for social renting housing. Honorable Deputy Speaker, for the benefit of this august House, let me stress that management of social rental housing is very specialized. It requires particular skills and institutional arrangements to ensure that servicing of this rental sector is sustainable and leads to growth in provision of further rental units. Honorable Deputy Speaker, we do not want to have a repeat of what has happened with that $19 million debt and had to solve by selling of their assets. It's a very sad case. If things were not functioning, sell it off. We don't do that. Honorable Deputy Speaker, with the current projects planned from my ministry under the Department of Housing and having a sustainable PRB, we are on track to achieve growth, huge growth in the total number of affordable housing units that we make available for all Fijians. The government currently allocates $1 million annually as rental grant to Public Rental Board to assist financially disadvantaged tenants whose average gross income of up to $250 a week. Honorable Deputy Speaker, this is a huge increase from the $300,000 grant when this program began in 1993. This amount was not increased until 2008, when it was increased to the current $1 million that is given annually. This assists between 600 to 800 rental customers annually and will really decrease their housing rental payments. In addition to the rental assistance, Honorable Deputy Speaker, let it be noted to this House that Fiji has among the lowest affordable housing rents compared to other many countries, and it is far below the current market rental charges across Fiji. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the Public Rental Board's rent charges ranges from 1, in the Central Division, $30 to $92 per week, 2, in the Western Division, from $28 to $60 per week, 3, in the Northern Division, from $28 to $50 per week. Honorable Deputy Speaker, affordable housing is made available to those on household incomes below $16,500 annually. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the PRB has taken over from Housing Authority the community halls that are supporting community social events and activities. PRB has built 15 out of the community halls in the 28 rental estates with the assistance of government. Honorable Deputy Speaker, building social bond is very important in these housing areas, and these community halls are a key meeting point for the local community, not for political purposes. In addition, Honorable Deputy Speaker, PRB has provided play areas and the halls for kindergartens to be run by the housing estate communities in association with Save the Children Fiji. Honorable Deputy Speaker, this is a key community initiative and helps promote early childhood schooling in a safe and easily accessible area. Honorable Deputy Speaker, PRB in partnership with Telecom Fiji has placed Wi-Fi hotspots for greater connectivity, with this being established in 3 states. Honorable Deputy Speaker, this Wi-Fi partnership will be rolled out to other states as well. Honorable Deputy Speaker, affordable housing and its provision through statutory bodies like Public Rental Board acts as a safety net for lower income earners requiring low-cost housing. At the same time, Honorable Deputy Speaker, this government is focused on meeting the targets that will in turn meet the housing needs and demands for this sector. Honorable Deputy Speaker, in the social rental sector, there is always high demand. As I have outlined in my address, this government has inherited the social rental sector heavily in debt that involve the selling of the same assets that they need to sustain their businesses. It's just like you cannot sell petrol if you have sold the petrol pump. Likewise, Honorable Deputy Speaker, you cannot sustain an entity like PRB that relies on rental income if you sell off the houses, their key assets to service debt. Honorable Deputy Speaker, as I have outlined with the increase in rental units, therefore, these figures means that we will be able to provide for more and more Fijians who require social rental housing in the months and years to come. While recognizing improved PRB operations, Honorable Deputy Speaker, Government under my ministry wants to ensure that the financial sustainability of the social rental housing delivery system will not be drained by grants provided. This means that we will work closely with PRB to ensure that we work towards increased separation of the provision and management of rental housing. Honorable Deputy Speaker, PRB has shown improvement and is sustainable in terms of operation and management. PRB remains assisted, and this is rightfully so, given the specialized social rental provision sector that they are involved in. This is one of the commitments of the Fiji First government, and we will continue to play our part in providing more housing for more Fijians under the affordable housing programs, including social rental under the Public Rental Board. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I conclude this ministerial address on the PRB, and on this note, I want to thank you. Naka.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. And now call on the Leader of Opposition or designate.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker. I wish to thank the Honorable Minister for his statement, and I see that he started off by saying that the purpose of the policy origin or policy purpose is to the provision of affordable housing. Then he moved on to explain how all this had started, and after that he complained, or he complained about past governments of how badly they addressed the problem of housing for low rental income, and he ended up with the solutions. But in a nutshell, I feel it boils down again, promises. Talks and talks. And the things that he has outlined here has not been delivered. And a very good example of that is Rewanga. Rewanga, they're still waiting now. They're still waiting for their time, and it hasn't come. And it's wrong too. The Honorable Minister is totally wrong to say that the purpose of this of the Public Rental Board is to provide affordable housing. That is wrong. That is the role and purpose of Housing Authority. The purpose is a provision of rental units to low-income earners. Please listen to that. Because when you start on a wrong footing, you'll end up wrongly. So in the end, I had the impression that he was talking about Housing Authority. Because that is the role of Housing Authority, to provide affordable housing. The purpose of Public Rental Board is to provide rental of units to low-income earners. And it's sort of a halfway house. They don't go there permanently. So what the government is doing now is to create this and make them become permanent. So the simple request that I would ask the Honorable Minister is, please cancel it and take it back to Housing Authority where it was, because that is what you're doing. You should be addressing the low-income earners, and it's not happening that way. Now, you go to the rental estate in Rewai, and you'll see who are there. Not low rental incomes.
They are listening.
You go and you see the cars, and you're renting it out to students at USP and all those. So you've shifted from the purpose that you were there for to, I don't know, you should be housing authority. You have left what you were there to hope for and started for. And the Honorable Minister spoke very highly of this, but I wish just to highlight some of the bad management that has happened here. And I just selected one of these Public Accounts Committee findings this year. This is what's happening inside. I'm not sure what year this is, but the first thing that I picked is that annual salary not stated in the contract of the General Manager and Manager of Finance. The audit noted that the General Manager, Manager of Finance and Administration Manager's property employment contract only stated the total salary package, which included the basic annual gross and fringe benefits paid. The employment contract did not specifically state the annual base salary for these officers. So very lucky. They signed a contract and there's no amount stated inside. That should not be, that's a reflection of bad management. Please see that it does not happen again. Then I go to the next page. This is, I selected this randomly. Next, expired contracts. Expired contracts continue to be paid. The audit noted that the General Manager, Manager of Finance and Administration and Manager of Property Employment contract ended in 2011. However, they were still employed without a valid employment contract. Very lucky again. They left employment, but they will continue to be paid. Reflection of bad management. And now, this one takes the cake. Payment of motor vehicle allowance. Provision for motor vehicles were given to the managers, but they were collecting their allowances as well. So, bad management again.
Clean up.
So, the basic point that I wish to say is that the purpose you have shifted. You should surely how it all started was this. Housing Authority could not manage its debt portfolio, so it decided, with the World Bank help, to cut it off and give it back to Public Rental Board. But now, Public Rental Board is now behaving like Housing Authority and ignoring the poor that it should have attended to. So my recommendation is, please, Honorable Minister, dismantle this and go back to Housing Authority, because that's what you're doing now. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I now call upon the leader of NFP or his designate. Point of order.
A point of order. I was sure the information that Honorable Gavoka was providing was false, but anyways, I needed to confirm it through my staff from Public Accounts Committee. He mentioned that the accounts of Tourism Fiji are not audited. The confirmation came that they appeared before the committee on 24th of November 2016 as per the verbatim report, Tourism Fiji, and I think he should withdraw that statement that the accounts are not being audited. Thank you. Yes. 24th November 2016, the verbatim report of Public Accounts Committee, you can always have a look. But they appeared before the committee.
Where is it?
So you misinformed the August House, you must withdraw that statement. Thank you.
Point of order. He can only correct a misrepresentation made against him. There's nothing in the standing orders to address that kind of situation. No, it's not there. It's not there. It's not there. It's not there.
So where's the
It has nothing to do with him.
Where's the audit report?
That's my point.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Your point has been noted, and we'll come back to you in the. We'll come back to you in the next sitting. Thank you. I call on the leader of NFP.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker, I thank the Honorable Minister for his update on the PRB rental bonds. At the outset, Deputy Honorable Speaker, the government will continue to need to construct new low-income homes for our people, for the low-income earners. For various reasons, a good government will always care and provide affordable housing and rental housing to its people. And this is nothing new. It has been happening in the past. This government is doing it. The future governments will do it. And we can always debate about the numbers, how a government is doing. And the need, Deputy Speaker, the need for housing, low-income housing, as PRB was set up, its initial setup was designed for as the affordable and quality rental housing to meet the socio-economic needs of its customers, which are the people that we all refer to as low-income earners, compared to the Housing Authority, which provides affordable housing. And it used to also provide quality rental housing. But through the PRB, this was taken away. And I agree with the Minister that there were problems with the Housing Authority, but instead of selling the stock, they could have just written it off by way of a government grant. No, I'm asking. And Madam Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, this is a commercial aspect of it. It's how prudently you manage your commercial activities, your commercial own enterprises. So every government has an obligation towards this. So this is not something that's only been done by this government. It was always there. It started in 1989. Honorable Deputy Speaker, in February, the Public Rentals Board, Colombo Housing Project came into the media for construction delays. I am sure that the residents of Colombo are awaiting eagerly at the availability of 36 flats in those rental units, particularly as public funds to the tune of $2.24 million has already been allocated to this project. And we acknowledge also that the staff of the Public Rental Board received bonuses for the years 2014 and 15 in February this year, as officiated over by the Minister for Public Enterprise, which means that they are making money. So affordable housing, and on the other hand, this rental board, Public Rental Board, is making money, which means there is scope to invest more. So it's not about just investing in selected places, but it should be in all the towns and cities to cater for those because of the urban drift and the ever-growing population. Also by now, we anticipate that the PRB flats in Rewai have resolved long-standing issues on rental arrears, particularly as the rental has increased and may conflict with PRB mission of providing, as I said, affordable and quality rental housing to meet the social economic needs of its customers. Perhaps in the next Minister's update to the House on PRB, he will be able to advise how many customers of the PRB have graduated towards first home ownership while he has been the Minister. So we look forward to that graduation from using a rental property and to owning a property. And that will be the test of this government. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable members, Parliament will now be suspended, so to make way for Honorable Speaker to continue for the rest of the afternoon. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker,
thank you, honorable members. You may be seated. The next item on the order of the paper is consideration of bills. I have been informed that there are no bills for consideration today. And we will move on to the next Secretary General.
Motion pursuant to Section 145, Clause 1 of the Constitution of the Republic of Fiji and Standing Order 131.
And now call upon the Honorable Acting Prime Minister to move his motion.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, for the purpose of Section 145, Subsection 1 of the Constitution of the Republic of Fiji, and pursuant to Standing Order 131, Subclause 1, I move that Parliament approves that 1. The government increases the existing guarantee of Fijian 120 million to Fijian $322 million to the Fiji Sugar Corporation Limited and extends the period to 31st May 2022, and FSC be exempted from paying a guarantee fee. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Did you have a seconder?
Madam Speaker, I beg to second the motion.
And now call upon the Honorable Acting Prime Minister to speak on his motion.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, sugarcane and sugar industry, or sugarcane industry, as it has been known, Madam Speaker, is obviously quite a subject matter of interest, in particular as we get closer to elections. So I will stick, in particular, Madam Speaker, to the motion itself and the rationale behind the increase, or the request for increase in the guarantee to Fiji Sugar Corporation. Madam Speaker, as highlighted, the motion actually requests Parliament to approve that government increases the existing guarantee to FSC from 120 million Fijian dollars to 322 million Fijian dollars. Madam Speaker, the reason why we are seeking this increase in guarantee for FSC is to inform Parliament that FSC is embarking on a new strategic direction to set the corporation on a sustainable footing. Madam Speaker, FSC and the entire sugarcane industry are at a critical crossroad requiring some decisive actions. It cannot be business as usual. This proposal is driven by this realization, and one which FSC and the Fiji First Government is committed to roll out. We also, Madam Speaker, are very buoyant about the manner in which this can be rolled out and the capacity that we actually have both within FSC and the overall in the industry. Let me highlight that we have some very capable people now, both on the board of Fiji Sugar Corporation, chaired by the former CEO of ANZ Pacific Region, Mr. Vishnu Mohan. We have also the new CEO, Mr. Graham, and also we have the new CEO, Mr. Naveen. All these three gentlemen bring a particular set of skill sets, particular knowledge base, and a particular understanding of the industry, business processes, technological processes, and financial processes that hitherto has not been actually experienced by the FSC. Madam Speaker, the underlying purpose of the proposed increase of the government guarantee by $202 million, Madam Speaker, is to enable FSC to undertake a number of capital projects which are crucial to and would generate an immediate positive impact on the industry turning around. Madam Speaker, these projects include 1. Agricultural mechanization and cane development designed to increase cane production at lower costs. In other words, the cost base being lower per ton for the farmer. Upgrade of the existing rail infrastructure to increase delivery of cane to mills by rail in a cost-effective manner as opposed to being heavily dependent on cartage by trucks. And thirdly, a phased upgrade of the 3 sugar mills at Lautoka, Rarawai and Lambasa to unlock production capacity and improve sugar recoveries. Madam Speaker, these capital projects cannot be undertaken. It is going to be phased over a period of about 3 to 4 years. It cannot be undertaken without the existing government guarantee of $120 million, which will expire on 31st May 2020. It was granted for a specific purpose to secure the standby pre-export facility, bonds and other loans. Borrowing as of 30 April 2017 against this guarantee stood at $115.1 million. In other words, approximately $4.9 million is underutilized. Madam Speaker, the projected debt of FSC as of 31 May 2017 is $393 million, of which $313 million, or 79%, is local, in other words, local component, and $80 million, or 21%, is external. A major share of the local borrowings was from government, $174 million, ANZ $88 million, and the Fiji Development Bank at $13 million. Madam Speaker, there's also debts in respect of from FNPF, also, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it is critical to note that the decline in the sugar industry is primarily attributed to a number of structural factors facing the entire sugarcane industry. The large number of land leases not renewed led to significant reduction in the number of active cane growers and loss of confidence, as we saw very largely that took place in Vanuatu. The number of farmers declined from over 20,000 in 1997 to 12,000 in 2014. Madam Speaker, consequently, average area under cane declined from over 70,000 hectares to around 41,000 hectares in 2014. As a direct result of this, sugar production decreased. Madam Speaker, this decline in cane production, coupled with a 36% reduction in preferential sugar prices, adverse effects of natural calamities, governance shortfalls, erosion of confidence, slow adoption to modern technology, in fact in some areas completely no adoption of technology, no proper ratoon management, we have people planting ratoons that are 20 years old, reliance on single variety cane, declining yield, and politicization of the sugar cane industry further exacerbated FSC's subdued financial performance and overall deterioration of the sugarcane industry. Madam Speaker, more recently, the catastrophic TC Winston had a disastrous impact on cane production and FSC financial bottom line. Cane produced and milled in 2016 stood at 1.39 million tons, the lowest production since 1970. Madam Speaker, of course, in the past there have been band-aid solutions, in particular after 1987, and this could not, and of course these band-aid solutions would not give you a long-term strategic plan, nor a tangible way forward. There's of course a time when landowners were brainwashed
towards this. So this is not something that's only been done by this government. It was always there. It started in 1989. Honorable Deputy Speaker, in February, the Public Rentals Board, Colombo housing project came into the media for construction delays. I am sure that the residents of Colombo are awaiting eagerly at the availability of 36 flats in those rental units, particularly as public funds to the tune of $2.24 million has already been allocated to this project. And we acknowledge also that the staff of the Public Rental Board received bonuses for the years 2014 and 15 in February this year, as officiated over by the Minister for Public Enterprise, which means that they are making money. So affordable housing, and on the other hand, this rental board, Public Rental Board, is making money, which means there is scope to invest more. So it's not about just investing in selected places, but it should be in all the towns and cities to cater for those because of the urban drift and the ever-growing population. Also by now, we anticipate that the PRB flats in Rewai have resolved long-standing issues on rental arrears, particularly as the rental has increased and may conflict with PRB mission of providing, as I said, affordable and quality rental housing to meet the social, economic needs of its customers. Perhaps in the next Minister's update to the House on PRB, he will be able to advise how many customers of the PRB have graduated towards first home ownership while he has been the Minister. So would look forward to that graduation from using a rental property and to owning a property. And that would be the test of this government. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member.